In one day with AJ, you know, with a lot of fighters, they'll go, right, do you know what? Fuck it, I'm going on holiday, or I'm going down the pub, or I'm going to a nightclub, or I'm going away with the lads. All he's done every day is write things down, think about how to improve and what to change.
Do you know if he'll be improving and changing it with Robert McCracken? Because the obvious flack comes, doesn't it?
Yeah, always. The flack comes always. You know, the praise never comes, does it? When he wins a world title, when he wins Olympic gold, when he beats Vladimir Klitschko, the praise never comes on Rob McCracken. But when something goes wrong, everyone will point a finger at the trainer. So there's a lot of things to talk about. You know, he has to take some of the responsibility. He's in there doing the fighting. But I just think the one thing I didn't want him to do in that fight was overthinking. And he did. He really did. And he felt, for some reason, that he could outbox Usyk. And even though he was told, don't try and outbox Usyk. But that's a mistake. And, you know, he'll live with that and he'll come back stronger.
Indeed. And certain Mr. Fury's offered to train AJ because he can guarantee he'll beat Usyk in the ring.
Everyone can. Yeah. Oh, you wouldn't believe how many calls we've had from people who definitely know the way to beat Alexander Usyk. So thank you for the offer. And like 99% of them are also telling us they know how to do it. Fuck off. And we'll do our own thing and come back and win the fight.
Indeed.
What's good, family? So mash the like button, subscribe and look off the bell. So we just heard there from your mans, Eddie Hearn. And I gotta say that I am genuinely extremely disappointed in Eddie, to be honest with you, because out of all the people, we know Rob McCracken ain't gonna evict himself, is he? So of all the people around AJ, yeah, who really has any power or leverage to make real change? We know AJ, he's soft, he moist. He ain't gonna sack McCracken. So who potentially in AJ's circle, yeah, could really kind of, you know what I'm saying, give AJ some stern words? For example, if I was Eddie Hearn, bearing in mind, AJ is Eddie Hearn's investment, if that makes sense. He should be feeling like, you know what, I need to at least speak up now, or forever hold my peace, if that makes sense. At least let me put a few bits of stern advice into AJ's head. If he chooses to ignore it, so be it. But at least I've done my best to protect my investment. And by the way, those words would be along the lines of something along the lines of, listen, AJ, bottom line is, historically speaking, every single fighter has needed the education of more than one trainer. What makes you think you're so special to get to the top with one crusty trainer who hasn't proven anything in Rob McCracken and two random bums in Fernando Alonso and Job from the Bible? What makes you think that's sufficient when every other top all-time great fighter has had multiple trainers? And by the way, multiple certified trainers. I mean, look at Mike Tyson. Cuss, Teddy, Kevin, a whole bag of trade. He went through about 30 or whatever. Lennox had a good 5. And they were wholesome trainers as well. It wouldn't be so bad, would it, if Rob McCracken was Emmanuel Stewart, or Cus D'Amato, or Shane McGuigan? Because you could say, well, yeah, maybe he only needs one. But unfortunately, it's obviously apparent you need more than one, AJ. Your skills haven't gone anywhere in 10 years. You fight just like you fought, but worse, but with no heart and no balls. And yeah, AJ must take responsibility for that himself, but equally, like I've been saying for the last 3 years, the trainer ultimately is at fault. And what you'll notice, and I exposed it, after he lost to Ruiz, yeah, McCracken came out and said, oh yeah, Josh knows what he did wrong. Josh. Never once, and even after this defeat, never once, yeah, have I heard Rob McCracken actually take any responsibility. None. And to add insult to injury, guess what? The media are all shills. Because in that post-fight press conference, yeah, I'd have been telling Rob McCracken, Rob, do you think it was a smart move to miss half of this camp so you can swan off as a part-time trainer to the Olympics? Oops. But instead, they all shill and just sat there like sidemen. But again, it's clear Rob McCracken is number 1, a crap trainer. Number 2, extremely arrogant. Number 3, extremely selfish. Number 4, taking the Michael. But knowing all these things doesn't change the fact that AJ isn't a baby, he's not learning, he's a 31-year-old man. If he can't make these decisions for himself, so be it. And that's why, to be honest, people, I actually hope he loses, truth be known, with this crap team. He doesn't deserve to win, in my opinion. Doesn't deserve it. He doesn't want it enough. He wants to just shimmy along and, if I get I'm so over a lot of it. Especially having heard these words from Hearn. Telling people who are offering their help, here, Eddie, there. Everyone wants to help AJ, but they can naff off. We've got it covered. Have you? Now, hearing how arrogant Eddie Hearn was, it does get me thinking, was this a setup? If that makes sense. Did AJ go in there and put no heart on the line and show no balls on purpose? Because that's how it looks. And how arrogant they are now, doubling down with their crap team. Eddie telling people who are good wishers, essentially. People are only trying to help Eddie. The YB only trying to help. People who have contacted you directly, clearly only trying to help. What is it about all of your psyches over there? And to be honest with you, it is making more and more sense. I've heard people make allegations about Team AJ and AJ himself. People have said things like, he's extremely, he's fake and he's arrogant and whatnot. And I never believed it, but I hate to say it, the more we see, the more it becomes apparent, in my opinion, that likely is the case. It was an arrogant decision to go in there with Usyk and try and box. It's an arrogant decision now to keep doubling down on this crap team. It's an arrogant decision for Eddie Hearn to come out and tell people to F off, who are trying to help. And it's like this whole narrative of be humble. It's almost like it was a cover. And we've heard alleged statements from AJ where he said things that talked about superiority. Now, in all of his social media stuff, it's stay humble, stay humble, stay humble. But the more we think about the actual actions, speak louder than words. He thought he was too superior to be beat by Usyk. He ended up getting his head boxed off and nearly got stopped in the 12th round. There was nothing superior, AJ, about you hanging on them ropes. You look goofy. It was an embarrassment. Simple as that. And all of your actions since have been an embarrassment. Mr. Mandela Gandhi. And the fact Eddie Hearn out here telling people to F off who are trying to help when your team is shocking. That for me is almost like the final straw at this point for me. Because I'm hearing they're not making no changes to the team. And I'm hearing they're going to try and double down and learn. We're going to show the world that we can beat Usyk at boxing. That's what I'm hearing. But really, AJ, let me tell you something now, Team AJ. The truth is, the reason you're going to double down isn't because you believe you can outbox Usyk. It's because you don't want to get in a hard fight. That's the truth. I'm going to tell the world it right now. The reason AJ is going to go in there, and try and fiddle around with Usyk is because he don't want to get stuck in. That's the truth. So when all of you AJ fans, because I'm kind of over it now, hearing this. I'm over it. Yes, at one point I believed AJ could really do something in this sport, but now it's too much arrogance and too much, I don't know what it is. I'm just turned off. I really am turned off. But like I was saying, the reason you're going to go in there and try and outbox Usyk again isn't because you think, well, maybe it is because you really do believe you can outbox him, but deep down in your heart, the real reason is you don't want to stick it on him. You don't want to go to that place you had to go in the Klitschko fight. And I did a video on it back in 2019. After the Klitschko fight, AJ said, I told Rob I don't want to be in fights like that for the rest of my career because my career won't be long enough. What you mean to say is you just don't really fancy it like that. You got a whole bunch of money in your pocket. You've got that FU money, and you're basically saying FU to this, FU to the beauty of the sport. Because the boxing really, fundamentally, it's never really been about skills. Yes, Mayweather came along and kind of changed it a bit, but in the main, what made boxing attractive, what made people buy AJ fights wasn't this goofy, I want to show it. It was never that. And that's why I hope people don't support these events. If he's going to go in there and fanny around, who want to watch that? I don't. Especially not when people who are trying to help get it thrown back in their face. As if you've got it under control, which you haven't got it under control. Because you were getting popped in the face all night and never once did you want to really fight back. There's something wrong there. Yeah? And you can go away, don't worry, I'm going straight back to Eddie Hearn gassing it up. But he's going straight back to training. Going straight back to training, doing the wrong things, what does that prove? This wasn't a Tyson Fury situation, yeah, where YB, he only had a 2-week camp and he was doing the sniff and he was doing the drink. That would make sense why he needs to get back to training. AJ stays in the gym 24/7. So wait there a minute. How can a man who stays in the gym 24/7 end up gassed after not throwing no heavy shots for the whole fight? Wait there, you was gassed and you got popped with every right hand and a whole bunch of other technical mistakes. None of them factors, yeah, have got to do with you not being in the gym. Because you was in a gym. Oops. All of them factors have got to do with leadership in the gym. What you're training. Because whatever you're training has got your gas tank emptied within 4 rounds. I've been saying this for years. You need someone who understands how to build a gas tank. And you don't understand that. Which is why every camp I do the same videos of you throwing big, massive one-off shots. What's that doing? Big, massive one-offs and 10 seconds to recover and throwing another one. What's that training? It's good for Instagram. It's good for your goofy Instagram trainers. Not good for nothing else, as we found out. What good is it in camp and you're dancing around? We saw the videos. We saw AJ in camp dancing around. I exposed it. All the AJ fans were in my comments. YB, you've only seen a little snippet of the footage. Yeah, no. I said, listen, I don't care about a snippet or not. At no point in AJ's camp should he be dancing around. This fight's straightforward. Same as the Fury fight. March straightforward. There's no dancing around about it. Oops, once again, the YB was right. Yeah? Now again, the reason I'm frustrated is the fact that you got Eddie here, who is really the only one. He's the only one at this point who can, because again, Team AJ's in a training team. They're not going to say anything, are they? They're getting paid millions to do. Don't get me wrong. I think probably Fernando Alonso and the other guy, they probably are trying their best, but their best ain't good enough, unfortunately. Sometimes your best isn't what's needed. And AJ's team's best isn't what's needed. And someone needs to... And what frustrates me even more is the fact that everyone can see it. I haven't heard one pundit say, yeah, AJ's got an A-star team. Apart from the known shills, like Eddie, like Carl Froch, like Tony Bellend, who blow Rob McCracken off. But anyone who's objective has been saying, AJ's team sucks, categorically. But yet, you want to sit there and laugh about people offering help. No, we're going to do it ourselves. But like I said, this tells me one of two things. Either AJ's team are completely drunk with arrogance, or this was planned. And AJ went in there and just kind of rolled over to lose on purpose. It's got to be one or the other. And the only reason I'm bringing up that narrative that he lost on purpose is because of how arrogant they're being, if that makes sense. The way they're acting, not making no changes to the camp, not making no changes to the strategy. They must know something we don't. But we're going to find out 6 months from now. Because if he goes in there and does what I think what I'm hearing he's going to do, go in there, make no changes, and just try and outbox him, and he loses, then we'll know that him and his team are completely gassed and completely arrogant. If he goes in there and actually outboxes Usyk, then we can say, yeah, it was a fix, and he took a dive. It's going to be one or the other. Or the other alternative is, magically, Rob McCracken proves he's not a crap trainer. Because the thing is, people, what a lot of people are overlooking is, people are saying things like, well, all he needs to do is go in there and march forward. But yes, that's the overall theme. But there's still a strategy to that. And having said that, don't forget, Usyk will be reacting to those things. And that's why you need a high-level trainer. Because a high-level trainer, it's all about, it's like chess. I move, you move. You move, I move. It's a big, it goes on and on and on. 10 steps deep. And the best fighters are the ones who can go the extra step. You do this, I do that. You do this, I do that. That's the best fighters. But unfortunately, Rob McCracken's proven he can't even get the macro strategy correct. He can't even get he's completely barking at the wrong tree. Never mind intricate steps. Never mind intricate details of counter-in counter shots and counter-in counter moves, which is the level Usyk's at. You can't even get the macro strategy right. You were trying to outbox the boxer. Which, again, shows you how inept his team are. But like I was saying, even if AJ's current team magically know how to train AJ to be the aggressive way, which they haven't shown, because ever since Tony Sims left, who, by the way, look at Conor Benn. Ever since Tony Sims left, who engineered AJ, Tony Sims was AJ's head trainer throughout his best period. When AJ fought Dillian Whyte, it was Tony Sims. Yeah? Rob McCracken didn't become head trainer until 2016, I believe. Sorry, the end of 2016. So all of AJ's best fights, yeah, was under Tony Sims. It's a fact. And ever since Tony Sims left, AJ's career's deteriorated. Now AJ fangirls were telling me, "Oh no, YB, it's because the opponents improved." No, it's not. Nothing to do with the opponents improving. Someone with the ability of AJ, the opponent shouldn't matter. When you're talking about a stiff Pulev or a stiff Dominic Breazeale, same person. From AJ's point of view anyway, it should be. Instead, look at the difference in fights. When AJ was under Tony Sims, he tore up the stiff dude, Breazeale. When AJ's under Pulev, fighting Pulev under Rob McCracken, took him all day and night to get the job done. Andy was scary in there. Andy was scared to get hit. So what I'm saying is that even if AJ's team get the macro strategy right, they won't know how to actually get the job done. Because training AJ to simply walk forward against Usyk, that's just the beginning. Usyk's going to be what you think. You think we saw Usyk in there with Chisora, and arguably that was a Usyk playing possum as well. The more and more I think about it, or the more and more we hear, Usyk was probably luring AJ out, or not luring him out, but Usyk wasn't going all in that fight, and he himself even admitted that was an E-level performance for me. My point is, to beat Usyk, it's not a guarantee just by going forward. You're gonna need someone who understands the intricacies to be able to get the job done in a smart way, a smart, aggressive way. Do you think AJ's team have the ability to train him for a smart, aggressive victory? I don't. I haven't seen nothing of the sort. The last time we saw AJ be aggressive at all, he was in there with Pulev swinging for the hills. Just imagine the counter shots Usyk would have been landing in that sloppy offense he was showing. Just imagine the counters Usyk going to be landing with the sloppy offense AJ had against Ruiz in the first fight. And that's what I'm telling you, people. Ever since Tony Sims left, AJ's offense has been sloppy.com. Every single time it's been sloppy. It's been sloppy and non-existent. What happens? He goes in there with Usyk and he's got non-existent offense. So right there, this team who have proven they can't train a lick of offense, never mind strategic or high-level offense, you suddenly want me to believe, Eddie, that this team who have exhibited no smart offense, the Ruiz 1 fight, low IQ offense got you knocked out. Yeah? The Pulev fight, low IQ offense had you swinging for the hills and missing most of the shots. So how, if you can't tee off on Pulev in a good and consistent way, how can you get me to believe you're going to tee off on Usyk to any level of confidence? Get serious, AJ. Get serious, Eddie. What are you talking about? We've got it covered. Why didn't you have it covered against Pulev then? When you was swinging left and right, missing by loads and just looking sloppy. Even Pulev popped you in the mouth with a shot when you was chin in the air swinging. So, what do you think's going to happen when Usyk's in there, who we know can go to that level? Because we're assuming here, oh yeah, all he's got to do is be aggressive. No, he's got to be aggressive to be in the fight. Because when he's not aggressive, his head gets boxed off. Just to make this, just to give AJ 1 percentage point of winning this fight, he need to be toe to toe. But to win it, to have confidence of winning, Rob McCracken and his team Don't give me not even a bit of that confidence, because they haven't shown. Give me the track record, yeah, of Rob McCracken training AJ to be offensive. Where is it? In fact, we've got solid evidence to the contrary. There's evidence in all of AJ's recent fights that he doesn't know what he's doing offensively. And if you disagree, give me evidence. You man, show me some evidence why you're wrong. Look at this fight. Look what happened here. Show me AJ getting high-level offense off, especially the kind of offense you think is going to land against Usyk, who's a whole different level compared to these other guys. So even if AJ was landing well against Pulev, which he wasn't, but even if he was, yeah, Pulev's old and slow and nowhere near the IQ of Usyk. So for AJ to really be confident of winning this fight against Usyk, he's going to need a trainer, yeah, who can take him offensively and literally dissect Usyk. And that's why I like Shane McGuigan, because Shane McGuigan has proven that every fight, or when he's with Lawrence Okolie, who's a big man, he's shown he's able to give Lawrence Okolie a strategy and dissect his opponent and result in a KO. Yeah? Every KO Lawrence Okolie gets is strategic. It's not going like, you can just tell. AJ, what's the strategy? I'm just going to go in there and go through the flow and win. What? I guarantee you, yeah, when Lawrence Okolie thinks about his strategy, it's got nothing to do with going in there and winning. Shane McGuigan would have kind of schooled him through the process of each different fight. Not, I'm going to go in there and just win. Well, that doesn't work at this level, as you've shown. And again, what kind of team at this level trains their athlete to just win and have no strategy? Oh, there isn't no game plan, AJ said. There isn't no strategy. The strategy is to win. What is that? It's arrogance. That's what it is. And the fact Eddie, knowing all this now, is still shilling. I'm just praying, yeah, this fight was a fix. That's because the way Eddie arrogant, yeah, they must know something we don't. Surely it's not just naivety. Surely it's not just pure arrogance. You know what I'm saying? And how confident Eddie is, they must know something, people. For Eddie to sit there and slag off people offering help and shut them down, they really must know something we don't. So maybe that's the case, and we'll know for sure. If AJ goes in there and obviously steamrolls him and it's really easy and whatever else, then we'll know that he took a dive. But if not, it'll just be, and to be honest, again, it's probably best for his career. It's probably best for his career that he loses again. And keeps losing until he makes changes, truth be known. Because even if he nicks a win against Usyk, what do you think's going to happen in the Fury fight? Yeah? What do you think? What's going to happen there?